Hey everybody, it's Vallen from Mischief of Mice, here with a bit by bit on Botania. Today we're going to be covering Manasteel and Livingwood tools and items. So the first thing you'll need to know is how to make Manasteel. Simple enough, a piece of iron into a mana pool, as you see here, will grant you a Manasteel ingot, which I have some in my inventory already. With these, you can craft almost everything that I'm going to be showing you today. Otherwise, some Livingwood in your crafting grid, turned into Livingwood sticks, will be used for the other parts. So, to start off with, let's begin with Steel Shears. The advantages of all the items I'm telling you today are that all of them, even the ones that don't use Manasteel, will be able to be infinitely repaired instantaneously, provided you have a mana source in your inventory. And what I mean by this is, I currently have a mana tablet that has mana in it. You can see a little blue bar, and it will automatically repair any damage I take on the armor, not my health per se, but on the armor itself. Now, it will also repair other items, like a Livingwood bow, or a Manasteel sword, and so on. Any of the items that I'm going to be going over today can last you, potentially, an infinite amount of time, provided you have a source of mana in your inventory. Now, a mana tablet is one of those, another is a mana mirror, and so on. So just keep that in mind, that that's already a big advantage over all these tools and armor pieces. So, Steel Shears. This here is made with just a couple of Manasteel ingots, and it has disadvantages as well as advantages. Well, a disadvantage as well as an advantage. And I think that the advantage outweighs it. That is that it potentially can last forever. Otherwise, it works exactly the same as regular shears, as I will show you here. And you can see here, with regular shears, snips a sheep, no problem. Manasteel shears, snips a sheep, no problem. But you notice that the durability on the shears has worn down, whereas the Manasteel shears have not. It's because it used some of the mana tablet, as I was explaining, in very, very little amount. So it's well worthwhile, in my opinion, to do so. Now here's where the disadvantage comes in. You see here, if you look really close, I have tripwires set up with arrows in each of these dispensers. And they'll shoot across here if I trip one over. So let me hit one. It'll probably end up hitting me in the face, but oh, that was a close one. But there you go. So it ended up, free arrow, doing that. And if you use shears on string, on a tripwire string, it won't set it off. If you use Manasteel shears on string, it will set it off. So there's one, and the only, as far as I'm concerned, disadvantage of Manasteel shears. So if you have a lot of traps on your server or your own solo play world, whatever, then you'll want to keep that in mind, that these won't work quite as well in that case. So, on to the next item. We have here a Livingwood bow, which I already have one in my inventory. Now, the advantage of this, even if you don't have a mana tablet or any source of mana in your inventory with you, it will actually end up still having a bit more durability than a regular vanilla bow. Now, in order to make it, you'll need some Livingwood twigs, which we already know about, and some of this string here, which I will show you how to make some. You just get some regular string, toss it in here, and you get yourself some mana infused string. Real basic, real easy stuff. Entry level, you can make it at the very beginning of entering into Botania, and you get yourself a Livingwood bow that could potentially last you forever, which is, of course, one of the issues that a lot of weapons have. They get a lot of use in Minecraft, and they can potentially break after a short amount of time, so why bother enchanting? In this case, it's much more worth the investment of enchanting the bow, so that you can actually end up keeping it, because it should be able to last you forever, because it uses a mana tablet if one is in your inventory, or mana mirror. Moving on, we have, and it does use regular arrows. You'll notice here I have 50 arrows. I now have 49, so it works just the same as a regular vanilla bow, but it just has that extended, potentially infinite durability, as well as just regular, better durability if you don't have a mana source in your inventory. So, Manasteel sword. This, made very simply, is the equivalent to an iron sword, as most of the tools and weapons that we're going to be going over are, as far as attack damage and defensibility. So a Manasteel sword will do the same damage as an iron sword, but it is a little bit better to enchant, so you're more likely to get the enchants that you're looking for on the sword. It's a little, not as good as gold, don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit better than iron. And it has that potential for lasting you forever, once again, making it much more worthwhile to enchant. Moving on, we've got the Manasteel Pickaxe. Now this here is a dual-purpose item. It is not just for mining, but it is the equivalent to an iron pickaxe. So let me grab one here by changing my game mode to 1. And I have one here. You'll notice I have a single torch in my inventory. Now I can use this to mine, and I will do this here. Like so. Also, I can use this to, if I just right-click, place a torch. And you'll notice it told me I have 0 torches left in my inventory. It will actually give me an inventory count of how many torches I currently have left. So that's really, really convenient that you can actually end up, while mining, instantly place a torch. And it doesn't have to be on your hotbar, it just has to be in your inventory, which is really convenient once again. Alright, moving on to another item, the Manasteel Shovel. This is very, very underrated. One of the easiest, cheapest tools you could make. 1 ingot, 2 sticks, which is really basic, gets you 2 tools for the price of 1. And I don't just mean it places torches. I mean it will also be a hoe. So, let me grab one of these here. And then I'll switch back. And essentially, you see I've got some grass here. I can dig it up with my shovel, of course, and it's just the same as an iron one. Of course, it also can have infinite durability with a mana tablet or mana source in your inventory. But it also can, let me put that back down here, be used as a hoe. So you can actually hoe the ground very simply with your shovel, which is usually what you end up having in your hand. So you don't have to make another tool anymore. You can keep this one. And, once again, it could last you forever if you want, with a mana source in your inventory. So you could feasibly enchant it with more efficiency and so on. But, you know, usually those aren't as worthwhile, in my opinion at least. Manasteel Axe. Alright, I always love carrying an axe with me because it's a good weapon and it's a tool, therefore freeing up, once again, 2 slots in your inventory. It's the same damage and everything as an iron axe, but it is, as before with Manasteel, slightly more enchantable, and it serves a dual purpose. So once again, let me switch my mode here, and you'll be able to see I have a sapling in my inventory. Just by having it, of course, it will chop wood, just the same as any iron pickaxe or any iron axe here. But just by right-clicking, it will plant and tell me how many I have left, a sapling that is in my inventory. Very, very handy stuff. So it is not only a dual action, it's a dual action tool with a possibility for a third option. So I love it even more now. It's better than before. And of course, last but not least, we've got the Manasteel armors, which the boots, the leggings, the chest plate, and the helmet. As you saw at the end, at the beginning here. Now, of course, my character has a hood on the avatar, so there is a little bit of clipping going on there. As you can see here, my hood kind of shows through. But otherwise, the armor rendering has been drastically improved since previous editions. And it looks much cooler, almost like a gladiator style, like the Gladiator movie helmet. It looks really, really good. But the advantages of this is, 1, it's the same as iron armor as far as protection goes. 2, of course, it could last you forever. Therefore, enchanting it is much more worthwhile. And it also has a better enchantability on it. And 3, it also will have the ability to reduce all the costs of repairing any of your tools and weapons that use mana. Allow me to show you here. If you hover over any of the Manasteel items and hold shift, if you are wearing a complete set, you'll gain the benefit of 10% less mana cost on mana tools and rods. So, which rods are not discussed in this episode. That'll be a future one. But just so that you're available, if you have the armor set, just like in a Diablo-esque game, you will be able to reduce your costs for repairing any of your mana tools, as well as any costs associated with them using it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, give me a like, and till next time, see ya.